cool melons turned to frogs. Issa was born long ago in a small mountain village in Japan in the spring. Plum blossom washed through the air, and Issa heard farmers sing as they planted rice. Insects cries lasted through summer, and warm rain pattered on his home's thatched roof. By autumn, Issa was old enough to crawl outside. He watched his father cut the heavy rice stalks. His mountain threshed and stored the grain during the long snowy winter. He kept warm near the fireplace. Then, when spring returned, he would rush outside where the sounds of laughing children would melt away the snow. In the mountain, these four seasons changed a little each day, and filled Issa's world with discoveries. Plum tree in bloom, a cat sailboat upon the papa's grave. A child intent on finding jewels of dew in the morning grass. A kitten stamps on falling leaves, hold them to the ground. Mouth watering snowflakes fall lightly beavens snack. When Issa was 3, his mother passed away. His grandmother took care of him every day. That often Issa played alone in the woods. He watched for birds and listened for insects, and for the rest of his life he considered them his friends. Motherless sparrow, come play with me. Rest here, sleepy butterfly, I lend you my leg. Locust riding piggyback, hopping over a stream. By the time Issa was 7, his father had remarried, and it was time for Issa to go to the village school. Issa liked to study, but Issa's stepmother felt that he should help his father work in the field instead. In the end, she denied Issa even a candle by which to read his lessons at night. Soon, Issa's stepmother gave birth to a son. She often made Issa look after the baby, then scolded Issa when the baby cried. This made Issa both angry and sad. His schoolmaster noticed that he was unhappy and enough Issa to write haiku. With haiku, he said, you can show what you are feeling inside. A silent thought, the face of one bursting with much to say. Onigawara, a face so fierce, bed snapped at the wintry moon. Issa's father took pride in his son's poem, and that made Issa's stepmother jealous. What a lazy boy you are, writing useless verse, she sneered. Why don't you do some real work rather than live off your your father sweet, but father told me to study, protested Issa, and all this shooting is making my brother cry. A bamboo stick, a steps built Cratchit's character in the dark. Issa and his stepmother eventually quarreled so much that his father, in desperation, decided to send his son away. When Issa was 14, he and his father left the house. Issa's father walked with him as far as a mountain road to the capital. Some you have a gift, but it cannot grow in the soil. Go now and promise me I'll see you healthy face again. Issa stood silently, then bowed his farewell. Lilies blooming thick and fast. A skylark's lone's cry. On the road, Issa joined travelers headed for Edo, the capital of Japan. In Edo, which is now called Tokyo, he found a bustling city brimming with fancy homes and shops. People spoke quickly, and their hurried manner confused him at times. Issa found work as a stable boy or servant, but other times he went hungry and had no place to sleep. Still, he noticed little things that most people were too busy to see. Sparrow chicks, look out, look out. Make way for Mr. Horse. A newborn butterfly, a dog's nest, a place to sleep through the night. There, atop the eggplant, horse, boars, a cricket, which chose a ride. Climb mountain Fuji, snares, but slowly. For years, Issa longed yet to visit his father, but he knew that he and his stepmother would quarrel. So instead of saving his pernicious to go home, he made up his mind to buy ink and brushes. Then, as a young man, he asked a master poet for training. I have no money to pay you, but I can do chores, Issa offered. Between dusty and sweeping the master's classroom, Issa kept notes of all that he learned. Soon, Issa's poems were being published in books, and before long, the master asked him to run the academy himself. Climb Mountain Fuji's nest. New Year's, even the Buddha wears a bright red hood for luck. There were beautiful of green bamboo shoots sprouting here and there. In the end, Issa didn't care for teaching formal classes. Students complained that his casual manner was not befitting of a haiku master. Meanwhile, all Issa really wanted was to continue writing and see more of the world. So, in the spring of his 30th year, Issa set out traveling in the traditional of haiku poets. He shaved his head, wore a priestly robe, and carried a pilgrim's staff. Although he was not tall, he had a stoutly built, and his large hands and feet helped him climb steep paths. Often he slept in Buddhist temple where monks gave him food and shelter for the night. In return, Issa helped the monks with their poems, and he found pleasure in even the simple moments of moving from place to place. Needlework, a traveling man, come forth this autumn night. Asleep on the ocean, as folding fan shadows me from the moon. For 7 years, Issa journeyed around Japan by foot, and his travels put him in closer contact with nature than ever before. A giant peony rigged and full, surely the god of wealth was within. Mother, father, and child monkey also take something that is spring breeze. A distant mountain swimmers in the dragonfly eye. A withered tree blooms once again, butterfly holding fast. The New Year's first dream, I see my village and wake a chilly tear. When Issa at last returned to his village, his father and fallen gravely ill. Son, his father gasped, forgive me for sending you away while you were so young. Tears streamed down Issa's face, but I must beg you forgiveness. Father, I left you to toil in the fields all this year. Issa stayed by his father's bedside and nursed him during his final months. Then his father made one request, son, you may not get along with my wife, that the house and land to major are part yours. Promise me you'll settle here and start a family of your own. For years, Issa's step family refused to share the old farmhouse. Then the two sides finally built a wall down the middle of the house. Only then, without speaking to each other, could then live side by side. When Issa was 51, he married a young woman from the village. Her name was Kiko, which means chrysanthemum, but Issa likened her to a bulb. Spring rain, the dog tells the owl to fix his worried face. Soon Chiku has birthed Sato, a baby girl, who made Issa's heart sing with joy. Carl laughed just like that. You are 2 years old this morning. Baby firefly, my hands wrinkles made it bird to work. But Sato died of smallpox after the tornado. In his grief, Issa compared her to a dewdrop, world precious yet fleeting like the dewdrops of spring. A dewdrop world so precious, like morning dew slips away. Issa continued to face much sorrow. He lost one child after another at a time, when only the healthiest people survived. Then he lost his wife Chiku as well. Still, he found solace in writing haiku, and despite the sadness that shadowed his life, he brought cheer to his many friends and inspiration to students. One night during a party, his students gave him Issa composed 100 haiku. In this world, even among insects, some sing well, some don't. Issa never lost his affection for small creatures or from almost anything he found along his path. Please don't stress the housefly bigs bags, laboring its hands and feet. Once when he saw watermelons left outside to chill, he felt sorry that someone would soon eat them up. If only he wished them they could hope away, people would leave them alone. Whole melons turned to fog. If people should come back near. Issa died in his snowy village at the age of 64. In all, she wrote over 20,000 haiku. He is known to people of all ages in Japan, and now she is known to you. Motionless horse at peace in the field, and the qualities falling snow. Oh, white goose, how young were you when you set out alone?